kids, it's Hyperdellic. Today, we got a special one, Marvel Legends Maximum Series Hulk. This is my first Hulk. I almost bought the Diamond Select Series one because I honestly think that's one of the best looking Hulks ever. But I'm sort of glad that I held off. But I will say this much: that Hulk was $35. This Hulk is almost twice as much. I am a Hasbro Pulse member, whatever, plus whatever all that nonsense is every year. Yeah, so I didn't pay shipping, and I guarantee you I paid the least amount of money for this figure anybody's ever going to pay ever again. So, yeah, I mean, unless it's like, used and ripped or something like that, because apparently that's possible with that upper body piece. But we will discuss that further when we get it open. First things first, let's take a look at this box. We've got some, looks like digital artwork on the sides. I don't know if that's a 3D render or if that's, it looks like it's a 3D render. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That looks pretty good though. I like that. I like that head. Not everybody likes all of the heads. I'm preferential to the 1970s old school head. But yeah, we got. Here's all the information on the bottom of the box. Those who want that and need it. There you go. All right, without further ado, I'll rip into this boy. We're gonna smash Hyperdellic. All right, and he's out of the box. And he is a maximum beefy boy. Like, holy cow, is he tremendous. I'm gonna say this much. There are some things that I have issue with, but overall, I really like this figure. I've played around with him a little bit before cutting back in here, and I think I really dig him. He is not my favorite figure in my collection right now, but he's up there. Like, this is a very cool figure. There are some issues that I think a lot of people have all stated. One of those issues is this whole upper torso and chest thing. It is some very thin rubber. Like, if you played around with that Slimer that was from Ghostbusters that came out, I want to say last Christmas, that like belches and all of that stuff when you play with his tongue and whatnot. It's disgusting, and it's got like a weird looking butt. But that's what this feels like. It feels like the same material that Ghostbusters Slimer is made out of. It's very like weak, and it feels like you could puncture it no problem. But he is like one of the biggest, beefiest freaking figures I've ever gotten. Like, here's my thing. Hey, I have my thing. You like my thing? You want to see my thing? But this used to be like my favorite beefy boy. Like, he's huge, he's chunky. Like, I love this thing. The only thing I dislike about this thing is that he's got knees with pins. I feel like at this point they could have done it without. Hulk still has pins. One set of pins on each side. It's kind of, I feel like it's just a travesty. Like, I can't even believe that we've got that these days. And then, like, here's Apocalypse, and like, here's She-Hulk. She was recent. We'll throw Wolverine on him real quick. Give him this day. Alright, I'll do that. And like, here's Cap. Captain America's pretty tall. Like, so that's like, but he's like an almost standard size Marvel Legends figure. And if you want to see Spidey, here, I got him. Gotta pose him out for you though, so he can stand. So there's Spidey. And that's how big he is compared to Spidey. He dwarfs so many other Marvel Legends figures. He's fantastic. He is maximum in that sense. But I'm gonna say this much: I haven't had any other Hulk figures, so I can't tell you whether or not this is like the biggest Hulk ever or not. By what I've seen, he's comparable to the Diamond Select one that came out a couple of years ago. And honestly, I'm still kind of kicking myself for sleeping on that one. But yeah, I think this is maybe one of the biggest 6-inch scale versions of the Hulk that we've gotten. He's huge. I mean, he really is. Like, his legs are freaking jacked. Like, that's my finger. Like, he's pretty thick, man. So he comes with a multitude of accessories. One of the accessories, which it's growing on me, honestly, as far as doing toy photography with it. It's this missile, right? He comes with this. The fire can come off if you want to take the fire off, and then it breaks apart right there, and you've got like a red wire and a blue wire, which is kind of clever. I mean, it is sort of clever. I got to give it to Hasbro, or Hasbro. Yeah. They really did a good job with this one. The Marvel Legends team did awesome. It's not as detailed as the rest of the figure, or all the other bits that come with it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Two of the other accessories. Oops. Two of his other accessories are other heads. I like these two. These are pretty good. I honestly like these two better than the pack out one. These two, like I especially like the one with the hair down. You would think that I would like the actiony one, the one that he's screaming, and I'm okay with it, but yeah, it's fine, is what it is. It's fine. I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't like, the face sculpt is good, but I don't like the hair on this one. I feel like he's like 1950s mobster, like that's not the Hulk I'm looking for. So one of the first things I'm going to do here, as far as swapping things out, and if you want to see the peg hole and the peg on this one, you can check that out. I'm going to put this head on him, because I kind of like, this is my favorite head out of the three. I like this one the best. This one just makes me feel like it's popping out of the comics. I don't know. But he also comes with a bunch of other accessories, a bunch of which are hands. These two are punching fists. They're humongous. Like, look at these things. Look at the size of them. Like, that's a big old hand. Like, it's bigger than Wolverine's head. So yeah, there's those, and then we get to these. These are the clapping hands. So you can do the thunder clap. It's his clap. He doesn't have the clap. That would be gonorrhea. And though he is green, I don't think he has any STDs. I think he's actually immune to STDs. Sorry, kids. Anyways, he comes with the thunderclap hands, and with the thunderclap hands come these swooshes. I'm gonna call them swooshes, right? He gets these, and then there's this. Right? This is the blast, where the hands come together and clap. Well, I'm not gonna try and piece it all together. There's a couple of photos that I took. I think I got a good one of the hand clap. I'll show you that one, but I'm not going to try and do this again, because honestly, putting it together with the thunderclap like pose, it takes forever, and everything is floppy, right? Everything wants to move on you, and nothing wants to stay. And the little star thing, the blast, it constantly wants to fall. Like, there's nothing for it to actually like attach to. Like, if you look at this thing, like, there's nothing that it doesn't clip onto anything or anything like that, and it doesn't like it won't stay on the hand. I mean, I suppose you could prop it up on one hand, but then you got like two hands clapping, and it doesn't look right. So you have to somehow make it so that the hands can clap together and like hold the blast like that. Okay? Like, and I'm just gonna do that here. I am not going to fight with him to try and get it to do that again, because it's such a tremendous pain. Like, I'll show you the finished result, but I'm not going to try and do it because it's crazy. What I want to do now is zoom in and show you his articulation so that you can see exactly what you're dealing with him. All right, we're going to do that. Hyperdellic. All right, and we're zoomed in now, and this is man, he's he's got some crazy cool looking sculpt details. You know, he's not Four Horsemen sculpt, like, right, that detail, but there is, like, here and there's that kind of sculpt, but he's still cartoony. One thing I will say that I do dig is how there's veins all over him popping out. Like, I think that's fantastic. I think that's that's one of my favorite parts of the sculpt. But then again, here we're gonna do a close-up on this. Like, it's so flimsy and flippy and floppy, right? I will show you inside. That is what it looks like. I mean, that's why you have so much room. Like, I don't want to tear it either, because I saw this one of my favorite reviewers, Sir Dork. He does amazing toy photography, and he ripped his arm because it popped out of socket, and then he had to try and wedge it back in there, and that didn't go so well. So you gotta be careful with this kind of thing. It's not like a regular action figure, and that is one of the things that I dislike about it. If it was more filled in and less like that, I'd be happier. But yeah, but what it is supposed to allow you to do is that, basically put his arms all the way in to do that crazy clap thing. And I mean, you can almost get it. Like, there's got to be like one single way to do it, but I honestly, like, I don't know, you know, part of me is like, I should do it now. It looks like it's working. Like, let's try it real quick while I'm zoomed in. We're gonna try and make him do this Hulk smash. But I'm not gonna put the big swoosh effects on, because those things, my set are kind of loose. They want to keep slumping on him, and that's, like, it's disappointing. So let's try this like how I do, you know, standing. We'll just kind of move it back and forth into the place that you want it. It's not an exact science, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so, like, his hands are fully clamped. You know, let's see if I can get this to stay on those hands. All right, so, like, no. Let's do that. There we go. I like that. That'll work. Okay, so there you go. Proof that you can do the Hulk smash, the hand clap. You can do it. It doesn't look pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when his chesticles are pushed that far together, it just doesn't look right. Right, we're gonna put the grabby hands back on because I like these the best. These are my favorites. Alright, so I made it happen. Hooray! But I applaud them for what they were going for. I think it's maybe only a few steps away from being exactly what we need. But he has a giant bicep cut, right? So that all rotates the entire. That's funny that you can rotate that without moving. Look at that. It doesn't move the lower part. You would think that this would move with it. What the heck? That is the craziest thing ever. I'm kind of amazed by that. I don't know how that's doing that, but it's magic. All right, and then we have wrist articulation. No double jointed elbow, because he's a big bulky boy. So they do this weird flip over the elbow kind of thing. Marvel Legends, I want to say a lot of the bigger figures don't have double jointed elbows. It's usually just the smaller ones. So obviously that he's got this ab crunch, right there, and then below that is like harder plastic. So that's not soft. But he has a waist cut that's like that. I hate those, but as long as there's a diaphragm, I think we're in good territory, right? We'll T-pose him, right? And I think that's as far as he goes, like that. So, like, he doesn't have a humongous range on those shoulders, right? That's about all he does, and that's fine. He's Hulk. He's bulky, but he does do splits a little bit. It's maybe like a half split. We'll call it. We can take a look down there. Taking a look at how he's pieced together. And he has a double jointed pinned knee, but just on one side. I don't get it. I don't understand. But I guess maybe I just don't have all the info. And then it's painted green on the inside, I think there. So I love that. That's kind of fantastic. That's a good way of doing it. I like it. And then come down. No boot cut. He doesn't swivel at the knee at all. There is a hip cut. So like right there, thigh cut basically. He goes back about that far. And then the foot goes about that far. So like he still has decent range of motion. And then you got the toes. Toes go like that. The foot goes that far forward too. It's funny. Like he's got good articulation. It's not like he's not Spider-Man or nothing, but he's got good articulation. Like for a big bulky figure, I feel like he's got really good articulation. I'd give him 10 out of 10 as far as the articulation for a big figure goes. We'll gotta check out the booty. That's not bad. And the back sculpt is not bad either. But again, and it's more firm on the back. It doesn't squish anywhere, except for like right at the bottom. But if you notice, like there's also a little bit of a airbrush of like a almost yellowish green to give him some highlight and different tone all over the place. I like it. I think it looks good. It's Hasbro taking that extra step, right? I don't think it doesn't look like there's a wash or anything like that on the pants. I think the pants just have like some edge around here, like printing, giving it like a little bit of a torn, fringy look. I like it. I like it a lot. The feet are pretty nicely hinged. It gets a good foot range of motion. So like, he can be on his tippy toes if you want him to be. Coke's trying to be delicate. But yeah, no, it's really well sculpted. It looks really good. I think that they did a phenomenal job on every part of this Hulk. Again, the choice in materials, I would have lived with a normal butterfly, but I get it. There's certain things you have to do in order to get the range of articulation that you want to do. I mean, like, you look at like Tamagotchi, or not Tamagotchi, the Amazing Yamaguchi figures and Mayfex and stuff like that. Like they've got phenomenal articulation, but what they lack is that seamless articulation, and like because they're a lot of their articulation is like very noticeable. What I refer to as Frankenstein scars everywhere. You see exactly where everything's cut and pieced together, and it's a little frustrating. I like when an action figure has way less of that. There's some places where you're just not gonna get rid of it. You're always gonna have something here at the shoulder. You're probably always gonna have something at the a cut at the wrist. There's always gonna be like a cut at the ankle or the foot or something along those lines. But you never know. Like the future could be more soft good sort covers over everything to hide all of the joints, just like how Barbie legs are, right? Because that's what this kind of feels like almost. It's almost like the same material that Barbie legs are made out of. Maybe a little bit drier and rougher feeling, but yeah, I feel like that's the future. And then that's our big chunky boy all close up. You know what we gotta do now? We gotta do some photos. Let's do it. Hulk smash!
Hyperdellic.
All right, final thoughts time. And yes, I had to deck them all out with all of our favorites. I don't know if actually, I know that Hulk went up against the Thing. I know he's definitely gone up against Spidey, and we all know he went up against Wolverine. I don't know if he has ever gone up against Cap, but I'm gonna assume. I think he did. I mean, I know he did. He went up against Thor, but I don't know about Cap or Iron Man, actually, in the comics. I'm assuming Hulk has battled against and with everybody in Marvel Comics, so, I mean, he's got that going for him constantly. He is a part of everybody's pantheon. right? Like he is canon to almost every comic book series out there. I mean, freaking Silver Surfer, definitely part of his thing. Man, so many. Seriously, so many. I absolutely love the Hulk. He is one of my top Marvel favorites. Like right here, you are seeing mostly my favorite Marvel superheroes. They have always been my favorites, and they're probably always going to be my favorites. There's a few missing, but you know these are my. This is definitely my top 5. Right? This is definitely my top 5. I don't know. I just there's something so cool about that classic quintessential look of some of these. Because if you notice, that's kind of what I go for in my figures. You know, I'm not looking for like variants and stuff like that. And the better, more classic kind of look is even better. Although I prefer the blue and yellow Wolverine over the brown Wolverine any day. I just do. I don't know why. Preferences. Opinions. Everybody's got some. So, but overall, I think this is a fantastic Hulk. I'm not going to give him a 10. I'm going to give him a 9. There are some issues that I have. One is his joints are a little on the loosey-goosey side. I don't know if that's just my version or if that's with everybody. I know I've seen a bunch of different reviews where people were basically pulling these things apart. So, I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see how that the weird flexi booby thing works for him, because I feel like it's going to degrade and fall apart over time. It's going to be like the monster from the Fright Zone set from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, from Motu. It's going to be like that puppet, like it just degrades over time. It falls apart. So I don't know what kind of material it is. I don't know if this is some sort of a silicone blend that'll last for a really long time or what, but I don't see it, holding up the test of time. Like I'm hoping that we get a crossbreed, so you would say like maybe like a something a little like this, maybe the softer bits on the side, but then on the inside it's completely filled, so that you can't do that. Like you shouldn't be able to push in his pec. That's just weird. I realize they had to do some things to make the gimmick work. And honestly, let's be fully honest here. The Hulk smash thing, it's a gimmick. Okay, it's a Motu action feature. That's what it is. It is an action feature, and they succeeded in making it work. I like the way that it's what the future holds for it is my true question. On a shelf, looking right at it right now, you couldn't tell what material was used there. They did such a nice job of making the materials match each other that you can't really tell that it's a different material. You can when you hold it and touch it, but just looking at it, it's not gonna change your day. I love this figure. I do. I love it a lot. I think that if you have a chance to pick it up and you don't have another Hulk that you have in mind, this is an excellent Hulk. Is it better than the Diamond Select one? I kind of like the color punch on this one over the Diamond Select one. The Diamond Select one, it's more muted in its colors, and I don't like that. I like the bright comic-y colors of some of these, the Marvel Legends. I appreciate it when we get those. It makes me so happy. Like when you get like that just bright, awesome looking, not totally like 1960s, 1970s style styles, but like that 1980s, 1990s, real bright, very like awesome cartoony, looking. Like I think that's kind of what I have going here, and I dig it. I dig it. He's an excellent addition to my Marvel Legends collection. I'm super happy to have him. I think he's a crazy huge figure that's so fun to just mess around with and play with and stare at for an hour or so. Like he's fun. And there are so many accessories that come with him that he has like incredible variation that you can play with. Like there's just so much that you can change and do and mess around with. So I wholeheartedly think that like he's an excellent pickup. Is he the beginning of this whole more expensive action figures thing? Yeah, he is. And I don't think I like that about it. It's starting to, upset me how much some of this stuff is starting to cost. It's so much so that it's almost causing burnout, Like, I don't know how much longer I want to keep on investing this much kind of money into this hobby. Like, it's starting to get a little too expensive at times. Like this is my collection, and this is what I would really want, in my collection. And the stuff that I don't want in my collection, I get rid of. I'll end up putting stuff up on eBay at some point and letting people know that I'm selling, a few things. But I want action figures to become more affordable again. I think that they're getting a little crazy in cost, a little crazy. But having said all of that, damn it, Cap, I gotta ruin my moment. Get back up here. Having said all of that, I love you all. Thank you for checking out this review, watching my video. Don't forget to do all of the YouTube-y stuff, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a member if you can. It's like, what, $2 a month? That's no big deal. That's less than what you spend on coffee. In fact, you should just quit drinking coffee and give me the money that you spend on that. And then I can make you cooler videos and, put some more production value into it. Oh, wait. Production value. Yeah. Atmosphere. This has been Hyperdellic saying, I love you. You guys have a great day. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for appreciating me and spending some time with me. All right. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think of this Hulk. Is he the best Hulk you've ever seen? Is he not the best Hulk you've ever seen? Are you a little concerned about whether or not those nipples are going to wear out? I mean, like, what do you think? What's going on? What do you guys have in your heads? All right. Peace out, everybody. I love you. Raw Hulk smash. Hulk smash.